Candace is unhinged. Brigitte Macron won for defamation. Well, that's no longer a thing. Because guess what? The journalist that she went after, two of them, they beat Brigitte in court. And today I have been sued by the first lady man of France. So let's just go, guys. Let's just go. Welcome back to Candace. You are officially a very goofy man, Brigitte. But I got to give it to you. You've definitely got balls. Fire everybody around you. And I mean literally everyone around you who told you that this was a good idea.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Candace Owens just dropped a bomb, hinting she's sitting on Brigitte Macron's real medical records and claiming they prove France's first lady had a gender change before tying the knot with President Emmanuel Macron. She's not being coy about it either. No whispers, no sugarcoating. She's sprinkling clues like breadcrumbs, daring everyone from Paris gossip circles to TikTok sleuths to connect the dots and the timing.
Guys, these are not outlandish allegations. These are not allegations coming from the quote-unquote far right or the quote-unquote far left. These are not allegations that are coming from deep on a Reddit feed, okay? This is the reality. It is a couple in reality that has been involved in way too many philic scandals.
Couldn't be worse for the Macrons. They're already dragging her into a U.S. court over defamation, but instead of cooling it down, Candace is strutting into the legal battle like she's holding a bullhorn. If her hints are legit, she could flip the entire lawsuit upside down and land the first couple in a PR nightmare. But if she's bluffing, she might have just handed them the easiest courtroom victory, and maybe the fattest damages check they've ever seen. Either way, Candace is playing a dangerous game, and the internet can't stop watching this fire burn.
Yeah, we won. That is what I should tell you right at the top here. Piers Morgan, you owe me something like $150,000 US. I'd like to shout out especially all my haters here right at the top who didn't believe me when I was all like, Brigitte Macron is a man. And instead, they decided to go with the mainstream media, the narrative that was just, Candace is unhinged. Brigitte Macron won for defamation. Well, that's no longer a thing. Because guess what? The journalist that she went after, two of them, they beat Brigitte in court. They have been acquitted in the higher court ruling. I'll tell you all about that. It's just been a bad day, bad week, bad month, bad year for the Macrons, actually. So it's amazing.
To really understand why this moment is turning so explosive, you've got to rewind to when Candace first waded into this rumor swamp. This wasn't some quick slip during a live stream. Nope. She's been laying the groundwork for years, hint after hint on her podcast, sly jabs in interviews, and those cryptic, do your research tweets that always sent her followers spiraling into speculation. She's been priming this powder keg for a long time, and now it's starting to blow. It kicked off when Candace dusted off some old French tabloid whispers, claiming Brigitte Macron was actually born as someone named Jean-Michel. She treated it like it was common knowledge in Paris cafes, even though Brigitte has always denied it flat out.
French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte are suing right-wing podcaster and conspiracy theorist Candace Owens. The defamation lawsuit filed today in Delaware claims that Owens has engaged in a, quote, relentless and unjustified smear campaign against the couple. The complaint goes on to allege that Owens spread outrageous conspiracy theories that France's first lady could be a man, that the Macrons are related in committing incest, and that the Macrons, the couple, is being controlled by the CIA. Obviously, those are deranged claims. In response to the filing, Owens posted a screenshot of a news story about the lawsuit on her Instagram page and wrote, "I will be coming for this wig today. Stay tuned."
French media stamped it as fake news. Critics rolled their eyes, but in one of her live streams, you can hear her coolly saying, these claims aren't outlandish at all, insisting people had been whispering about it for years. But here's the twist. Candace didn't just drop it and move on. She turned it into one of her ride or die hills. Stage appearances, viral clips, high-traffic live streams. The rumor became part of her brand identity. Every time she repeated it, her fan base swelled and her critics got even louder. By mid-2025, she'd taken this from casual shade to an all-out crusade. That's when the Macrons decided they'd had enough. In July, they hit her with a Delaware lawsuit, and not a light one. We're talking 22 counts of defamation, identity theft, and accusations she was peddling dangerous conspiracy theories. Most people would have slammed the brakes.
So I just want to be very clear, in case it hasn't been clear from the beginning, Maybe just some photos growing up with your brother, some photos of your first marriage, which lasted more than a decade of your life. You allegedly had 3 kids, some photos of you in the hospital, giving birth to those kids, raising those kids, growing up with those kids that you allege that you raised. We don't need to conduct a medical exam at this moment, just some photographic evidence that you existed for the first 30 years of your life. That would be great. Maybe wedding photos. I assume you took tons of wedding photos. Can we see who the maid of honor was? Just proof that it was you. I feel like we're not asking for a lot. How about school photos? Xavier Poussard won, by the way, in court because for whatever reason, the school that Brigitte went to does not want to release the photo of Brigitte at school. And so when Xavier went to the school and said, actually, I won in court, you have to release this, the school said, don't care, we're not releasing it. That would do. School photos, I think. So this is a really low bar we're setting to prove that you existed for 30 years. You could go for a walk with your brother now, answer some questions, refuses to do absolutely everything. So you're not going to gaslight us for asking for a bare minimum requirement here. Okay? Prove you existed for 30 years.
Maybe mumbled a half-hearted retraction to cool things off. Not Candace. The same day the lawsuit dropped, she jumped on her podcast and basically said, "Thanks for the free publicity," and then she pushed it further. In the clip, you hear her doubling down, saying people didn't believe her when she claimed Brigitte was born a man, and now she thinks they all owe me an apology. Candace wasn't backing down, and she was loading another round. Now Candace is out here, claiming she's finally ready to show the world what she's been holding back, like she's been saving the big reveal for the perfect moment. So let's get into this lawsuit, because this isn't some light, slap-on-the-wrist situation. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron marched straight into a Delaware courthouse and dropped one of the most detailed defamation suits in recent memory. They're accusing Candace of spreading lies that could shred Brigitte's reputation on a global scale, pushing identity theft claims, faking gender documents, and even dragging their marriage through the dirt. And they're not just after a payout. Nope, they're asking the court to muzzle her completely.
About everything. They tried to present them as some modern couple, telling us that she was so hot, she was Claudia Schiffer, and even though he was 14, she was just irresistible. And then you see this picture, and you're going, what? That's a picture? The hot teacher that the press was trying to sell so people wouldn't question this odd relationship? A person that's 40 being attracted or alleged to be 40, I actually think Brigitte's older than that, is attracted to a 14-year-old boy. That's disgusting. It's perverted. No matter what, this is an incredibly perverted story, which centers around individuals who happen to surround themselves with other perverts. That's the reality. You cannot look.
Banning her from ever speaking on the topic again. The story's gotten so big, even mainstream media is circling it. In a CNN breakdown, reporters highlighted that Candace has gone so far as to claim the couple are related. But here's the kicker. Instead of keeping quiet and letting her lawyers do the talking, Candace has been milking this lawsuit like a PR goldmine. Every time her legal team files a response, she's back online dropping cryptic teasers about truth bombs and receipts she's just itching to drop. And in her mind, those medical records she keeps hinting at, that's her ace card. The thing she believes could end the whole debate in one dramatic move. According to Candace, these so-called documents don't just throw shade. They list a totally different birth name, a different gender marker, and even details about surgery. Let's be crystal clear here. This is all Candace's claim. Brigitte Macron has denied it every single time, and French authorities have repeatedly labeled the rumors as false. But Candace?
Prince went away when I did the Becoming Brigitte series because people realized you only have to get one episode into that thing, okay? You realize these are not outlandish allegations. These are not allegations coming from the quote-unquote far right or the quote-unquote far left. These are not allegations that are coming from deep on a Reddit feed, okay? This is the reality. It is a couple in reality that has been involved in way too many pedophilic scandals, okay? Scandals that are related.
She's moving like she's holding the smoking gun the whole world's been waiting for. In one podcast clip, she goes even further, pointing to something she swears backs her up. She claims there's no wedding photo and no pictures from 30 years ago, proving Brigitte even existed back then. Now, if these papers are real, that would mean someone went deep inside French bureaucracy and pulled out records nobody thought would ever see daylight. Not exactly an easy job, but if they're fake, then Candace is playing a high-risk game that could leave her absolutely scorched in court. Either way, she's using the mystery like lighter fluid, keeping the buzz burning hot. And online, it's pure chaos. Half the crowd swears Candace just closed the case for good, while the other half is counting the days until they see her grilled on the witness stand. One viral comment summed up the mood perfectly. Candace didn't defame Brigitte, she just broke the unspoken rule. Never question the powerful. And her fans, they're eating that rebel energy up. Candace is moving like she's some political truth teller, pulling the curtain back on the so-called secrets of the French elite. But for a lot of people, it's less about politics and more about the sheer drama of it all. One fan even wrote, "I damn near died when she said, 'I'm being sued by the First Ladyman.'" Then there are the straight-up practical thinkers who just want this circus wrapped up. As one blunt comment put it, this is a simple case. Just get a DNA test done. But whether you're rooting for her or ready to see her lose, everyone's watching. Because if Candace actually drops those records for the world to see, it won't just be another spicy day on social media. It'll explode into front-page news across the globe. And here's why that matters. Brigitte's public image isn't just personal. It's tied to the French presidency, the country's international reputation, and even Emmanuel Macron's own political credibility. Their marriage has already been a magnet for gossip, thanks to the age gap and that much-discussed teacher-student past. Now throw this kind of controversy into the mix, and you're not just talking gossip anymore. You're talking a full-scale national scandal. In one fiery clip, Candace leaned straight into that angle, dubbing it the hot teacher story, and flat out saying the age gap makes it a perverted story. She's not tiptoeing. She's stomping right into the most sensitive territory possible. Let's be real. What Candace is doing right now isn't just risky, it's borderline dangerous. If she really has private medical records and puts them out there, even if she believes they're real, she's stepping into serious legal minefields. We're talking potential privacy violations, possible criminal charges, and lawsuit damages so huge they could make her wish she never hit post in the first place. But in one clip, she flat out says she's ready for that fight, even bringing up the part of the lawsuit where the Macrons are demanding her receipts, like emails, messages, and recorded conversations. She frames it like they're scared of what she might actually have. If you've followed Candace Owens for any amount of time, you know this isn't her first time kicking the hornet's nest. Her entire brand is built on saying what others are too scared or too smart to say, depending on who you ask. Remember when she implied Michelle Obama was secretly trans? Or when she accused Brittany Griner of lying about her gender just to compete in the WNBA? She even took aim at Meghan Markle, calling her a professional victim, and claiming parts of that Oprah interview were staged. The pattern's always the same. Candace drops a wild claim. People demand proof. She doubles down, and then she keeps the story alive for weeks, feeding it bit by bit so the buzz never dies. But here's the difference this time. This isn't a pop star, a royal, or a sports figure. She's gunning straight for the First Lady of France. And when you aim that high, the pushback doesn't just come from Twitter trolls. You're dealing with government lawyers, political influence, and international firepower ready to hit back just as hard. Right now, this entire firestorm boils down to one burning question. Will Candace actually release these so-called medical records? Or is she just running the ultimate slow burn tease to keep every camera and headline pointed her way? She's been dropping hints that the big reveal could come sooner than anyone thinks. And if she actually follows through, this won't just be trending drama. It'll erupt into international headlines within minutes. The real suspense? Whether she's about to cross that final line and throw the records out for the world to see, or if she's gearing up to pull the biggest bait and switch of her entire career. Either way, she's got millions watching, waiting, and refreshing, because whatever move she makes next is going to set off shock waves. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.